Uh, I'm actually not milking the applause. They told me to walk slowly so they could change the tape. So, are we set? Okay, good. Well, I, this is sort of like a movie. This morning I was pulling garbage, and now I'm on Broadway. Who knew? I was completely honored when they asked me to say a few words about my experience as a roadie. And I just wanted to give two very quick shout-outs before I start that. One, to both of my teams. First of all, my AIDS Lifecycle team, the New Bear Republic, who are all out here somewhere. They are 90% of everything that is awesome that has happened to me on this ride is due to these amazing men and women, which include my husband. I know. Oh, thank you, honey. The other 10% is due, of course, to the communal showers. What can I say? I like naked guys. And the other team, sorry, I'm totally going off script and I know you're mad at me. My other team is my roadie team, which is Pack Up, and they're all right over here. They are amazing. They pick up your garbage. And if they were standing up here, I know they would say to you, please, please, please do not leave bottles of your pee in the grid. I know, horrifying, and yet, ... Okay. I know. Thank you for your shocked silence. Gross. All right. So, last year was my first year as a roadie. And some background. In 1997, my roommate and best friend, Joey Meyer, died from AIDS-related complications. And I guess in this sort of era of chosen family that we've all decided that we live in, I would say he was my brother more than my friend. So you would think with that horrible loss in my history, I would be the first in line to sign up for AIDS Lifecycle. But I have to be brutally honest. When my brother died, I felt like I gave at the office. It was never something I said out loud or dwelled on too deeply because I knew deep down that excuse was bullshit. But it was my excuse and I stuck to it. And I ignored the hole in my heart. Then, 15 or so years later, math is not my strong suit, my husband signed up for AIDS Lifecycle 2012. And I thought about riding, actually, at that point. And I went on one training ride, and that shit sucks. I don't like to be tired. So I didn't sign up. But as the months passed, and Matt Mishkoff, my husband, his excitement was infectious. So I secretly signed up as a roadie on Pack Up team, and I surprised my husband on day 0 and got my Husband of the Year award. And I was excited to be here last year, but I still wasn't completely invested in the emotional part of the ride yet. Spoiler, AIDS Lifecycle 2012 was the biggest life-changing experience of my life. So it began when the Pause Peddlers carried in the banners we signed on day 1. I was close enough to see what I'd written, which was, I am roadieing for Joey Meyer, who died in 1997. I still miss him. A feeling I can't describe washed over me at that moment. Sadness mixed with what? I wasn't sure. Day 1 went by, and then day 2 was rained out. Do you remember that? Awful. But FYI, roadies don't get to sag when it rains. Yeah. No. We don't get to cry in a bus. So, Pack Up pack up, trudged along, soaking wet, packing up the camp and hauling garbage in the pouring rain. It was exhausting work. And when I was finally able to catch my breath in my tent later that day, I was so exhausted, I started crying. But I wasn't sad. I actually realized I was having an incredible time. The Roadies moved a city that day in the rain, so thousands of riders could participate in the largest AIDS fundraising event in the country. And as Lori Jean said, every day that year, we made a difference that day. So before the ride actually started, when people would ask if I was a rider or roadie, I tell them I'm a roadie. It was just something that came out of my mouth, like a verbal name tag. But on day 2, as I lay in my tent, exhausted, soaked from the rain, thinking about what we'd done that day, and Joey, the answer to the question, are you a rider or a roadie, changed from I'm a roadie to I am a roadie. It's not my job, it's who I am. My heart broke open at that moment and was filled every day after with everything the ride had to offer. You know, I've had people ask me why I worked so hard to raise money for ALC, and a sidebar, I really, really, really hope that my record is broken next year. Please guarantee me that somebody will raise more money, because I hope that roadies can step up to the plate in that way. I'm sorry, I'm jumping off script, but please promise me that'll happen. As most of you probably know, roadies aren't required to fundraise, and I'm assuming the reason is our service to the ride is considered our donation. But I don't see it that way. As far as I'm concerned, the only difference between riders and roadies is the job we do each day. Some people's job is to pedal a bike. Some people's job is to haul garbage. And yes, riders are the face of the ride, but roadies are the skeleton. You need both to accomplish what we're all here to do. The money we raise is used to comfort people, to heal people that are sick. But the ride itself, it healed me of my cynicism, and it healed the hole in my heart by putting Joey back there where he belonged. And it comforts me that each year, thousands of people have this same experience and hold the ride in their hearts when they go back out into the world. I don't consider my participation on the ride as a favor I'm doing AIDS Lifecycle. I consider it a privilege to be of service to you, with the selfish benefit of absorbing all of the amazing things that happened during this week. This is not hyperbole. I worked harder on ALC 2012 than I have ever worked in my life. Trust me. I am a writer. We do not lift things. But I had an amazing time. I made a difference every day for 7 days. I am a roadie. And after ALC 2012, I know for certain that I belong here. Thank you.